Many people say that tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone and I want to live now, and they tend to spend their money on expensive products like phones, clothes and expensive cars, and they fail to prepare for their financial future and they tend to go cheap. And in today's video, I'll be sharing 6 things that you should never go cheap on when it comes to preparing for your life. Number 1, don't go cheap on saving and investing. I've often heard this saying of people saying, what if I don't reach retirement? I'm asking you today, what if you do reach retirement? Look at the people who are around you, whether it's your uncles, your parents, your grandparents. Did they retire comfortable? Because most of us fail to prepare for our retirement by investing or saving money, because we say we want to eat our money now, we want to spend our money now. But when we do get to the age where we have to retire, we realize that we don't have enough money. So I'm saying, don't go cheap on saving and investing for the future, especially retirement, because if you are living for now and you still want the things that you are living with now in the future when you are 65 years old, do you think that you'll be able to afford it if you're not saving and investing? So don't go cheap when it comes to saving and investing. At least save and invest 10% or 15% of your salary for you to know that when I reach an age of 65 years old, I will be having enough cash that can sustain me each and every year when I'm no longer working. Number 2, don't go cheap on estate planning. This means that you need to get someone who will write a will for you if you can't do it by yourself, because trust me, it causes a lot of headache when it comes to your family when you're no longer alive. I will give an example. I have an uncle who died 3 years ago. His estate has been handed to the state, or I would say the government, because he did not write a proper will. Most of us tend to ignore those things and say, I will deal with it later. Some people actually don't know, but as long as you are saving and investing for the future and you have dependents, don't go cheap on estate planning. Get a lawyer whom you will sit with and organize things for you. Get an accountant if you have a business and you would like to pass it on to your children. Your children are not gonna know your plans unless you write them down. And number 3, don't go cheap on your health and your fitness. This means that you need to be exercising, moving. Most of us tend to, I will do that later. And by the time you're 65 and you are realizing that, oh my God, I'm not in any way or shape or form fit, I'm having problems, not only just exercising. Some of us don't like paying for insurances that will cover us when we are no longer working, because we say, I can't pay, for example, £100 just for me to use in the future when I'm no longer working. Don't go cheap on those things, especially insurances, life covers. Don't go cheap. So make sure that you are prepared when it comes to your health and also your fitness. Start now. Don't wait until you actually retire. You need to be actively aggressive on those things. And number 4, don't go cheap on learning a new skill. This means that if you know that you're working at a certain company and you learn a new skill, it will offer you a promotion or it will help you start a new job. We tend to overlook those things most of the time, and we complain to say, I'm not getting the promotion that I want, or I can't seem to do this to start a business. But if you take a leap of faith and learn a new skill, it will actually help you maybe have your doors open in terms of promotion, or even earn more money by starting a side business. So don't go cheap in learning a new skill. Find a coach, find a mentor. Don't be afraid to pay people to help you learn the things that you don't know. And when it comes to that, don't start counting money, because most of the time it's going to benefit you in the long run. And number 5, don't go cheap with spending time with your family. If you're working 9 to 5, for example, make sure you put on time, because those things will never come back. If you have kids, just like myself, time to spend with them is very, very important, because you will never get it back. So make sure that you are celebrating each milestone, you are spending time with your family, because you will never ever get that time back. And it means that you have to do certain stuff like celebrating birthdays, maybe go on a vacation that you can afford. It doesn't have to be the most expensive one, but most of the time, let's not be stingy when it comes to the time that we need with the family. And number 6, don't go cheap on hiring a professional. Most of us, to be honest, we don't want to pay professional to come and help us. I will give an example. If maybe you want something fixed in your house, you know that your roof needs to be redone, most of us tend to go cheap, and eventually 2-3 years down the line, if you don't do it properly, if you're fixing something around the house, that thing will just start collapsing all over again. But because you went cheap, now it's going to cost you more. So don't go cheap when it comes to hiring a professional, whether it's a bookkeeper, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's an accountant, whether it's a professional builder. Don't just cut corners. Don't go cheap on those things, because those are the things that you would want them to last longer, or you would want a really good professional advice so that you don't get in trouble in the future. So don't go cheap on those things. So I just thought I should come here and share with you guys on the things that you should never go cheap on. You can spend your money in all the material stuff that you think you want and need, but these are the most important things that I've listed now that you should never ever go cheap on, because your financial future you will thank you one day. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.